Hey Trance family, Brandon Beatty, welcome to the studio guys. Welcome to the sixth video in this series where we're creating a uplifting trance track completely from scratch in Ableton. Just to review, in the first video we put together the framework of our track by putting in locators and knowing where we're building up, where the track breaks down, where we're going to have like the leads come in. In the second video we took time to put in a chord progression just so we know where the track is going. How to draw in the basses as the chords happen. And then in the video after that, I'm losing count here, we put in our kick and sub bass. We got those levels right. Then we also added our mid basses in the following video, put in some rolling basses. The last video we worked on our percussion, and so this is what we have. Okay. And as the track goes, it's going to sort of build up by adding more percussion layers. Okay, so it doesn't sound like much yet. It's very empty. So in this video, I wanted to start filling out some of the space in the track by adding in our cymbals. And let's actually take some time just to put in the bass chords here. Okay, and so we want this to go, sorry, for 4 bars. And if you remember, our chord progression was A minor to F major. We go up to C major, and then we go down to G major, which is a minor chord progression because we start on the A minor, but there's a lot of major chords in here, so it actually ends up being sort of a nice poppy, happy chord progression in a way. That's perfect for trance as well. Okay. Make sure we have our percussions in there. Oops, I didn't mean to lose this. So, I mean, these are basically the same pattern anyway. Put in the bass one. Okay. And same thing, we'll just copy this down because we're using the same patterns. Mid bass 1, mid bass 2, mid bass 3. Okay, let's see what that sounds. Almost sounds like something's off there. One going up. Almost sounds like one's kind of going up. Let me see. So it's good just to listen to all the layers individually. Okay. So it sounds a little bit cheesy right now, but that's fine. It'll start to sound better, obviously, once we add more elements. And don't forget to put the rolling bass in there. Again, 4-bar loop. And this is a little bit funky because we do have to, since this is a sample bass note and a sample player, like we have to play it on C because our sample's in A. And so we actually just need to do, like, a quick way to make sure you do the right progression is put these notes in, sort of like, you know, A, F, yeah, oh yeah, C, we're already there, and then down to G. Whoops, and I did not do these long enough. Okay, let's try that again. So A, we're gonna bring this down to F. That one's already on C, and we're gonna bring the last group of 4 down to G, and then we're gonna align this with C. Okay. Okay, and let's just hear how that rolling bass sounds. Okay, so good. So you know, it's important to check your mix. Just check the individual layers as we're building this up. Just make sure everything kind of sounds right. Take your time to put your mid basses in the chord section, and we'll even copy over the this part, put it over here for the outro. And okay, so let's start actually diving into what this video is about, which is adding these cymbals. So again, let's go back to our Dave Parkinson pack. And let's take a look at these, I don't know if they have them in drum hits. Yeah, crash cymbals. So go ahead, audition some of these. Okay, we'll put that one in, see what it sounds like. So we're just going to create like a bus, I think, and call it the effects bus. Okay. And this is going to be our crash. Let's go ahead and put this in. Definitely bring this down quite a bit because we don't want to make this too loud. I brought it down almost like a whole 25 decibels. Okay. And so you can just sort of put this in almost every 8 bars. I might leave it out right there. And I might even go ahead and take a kick out here. Okay, this purple, and we're going to again put a crash almost every 8 bars or so. Just careful, don't like quite overdo it, but that's like the general sort of rule you can do. Definitely put it at like key moments. So definitely where like the theme comes in, definitely when we start the build up, maybe. Definitely at the drop and climax. Again, don't overdo it. So maybe like every other group of 8, we could put the crash in. You just kind of have to see how it sounds. And like, if it's like a key moment, definitely kind of put a crash in there. And so we're just going to put this throughout the track. Definitely, again, at the climax. Every other part. Definitely at the break. Definitely at the recap. The breakdown. And then you could even just end. The ending could even just be... Okay. So this one, I feel like the sample is just a little too long. I don't like that tail. So this is where you gotta be a little creative. And I think I'm gonna make this tail sort of go back. I don't need all that extra sound in there. Okay. So I'm probably just going to do that. Replace all of these with this. So, okay. So, whatever. We'll just start over. Put this in there. And so this is where you really can't be too lazy. Okay. You got to take the time to make sure all of this stuff is right. But be patient. It does pay off. Okay. And definitely at our key moments, the recap. I'm kind of doing every other group of 8 and definitely at the end there. Okay. So the next kind of effects we can add here is going to be our risers. Let's see, we're going to go to effects. So we've got up sweeps and down sweeps as well. Sometimes you can also use these effects, white noise. But like that's a nice one we can use as a down sweep. So let's go ahead and make another track for that, an audio track. Drop this in. Okay. Again, turn these down quite a bit. And maybe don't always use like the same, you know, white noise throughout the whole thing. I think that was cool for the intro. Maybe we could use that one when the theme comes in. Okay. And we'll put it maybe at the end. And we'll put another one like here. Okay. And then maybe at this point we could put a build up so we could get like an up sweep. Do they have short ones? No. But yeah, we'll put this in here. And again, you got to be creative. You got to kind of know how to use these samples in a way to create an interesting track. Okay, so this is where we're kind of putting a lot of background noise in here, or a lot of air in the track, and this is what a lot of people are sort of missing, is all these like little extra sound effects. And then, yeah, maybe we'll use this white noise like every 2 bars. And then we'll get like a longer up sweep, I think, because this is going to be more of like an intense build before we go to the exposition. Okay. And let's go ahead and grab another sweep. Why not? I mean, that one's... yeah, that one's almost like the perfect length. So we could almost use this whole 2 bars as a build up. Very subtle. And really, to emphasize this build up, we're also going to pull back this kick because there's just kind of no contrast. So by taking the kick out, and then when it comes back in, it just kind of creates like a contrasting effect. And also, since that's like a key moment right there, I might even just put the crash right here. And so you can hear it does sound like, okay, there's like room for a build up here. There's room to do something interesting here. And so we don't have to worry about that just yet. We're going to keep just working on our effects bus over here and keep adding in these white noises and stuff where it's appropriate to add some more interest to the track. So, and we can just kind of repeat this process. Maybe we add this white noise here. This is also, maybe we actually make this a key moment. Closer here. Okay. Oh, and I definitely hear like a kick doing sort of a roll here. So it's like a, let's go ahead and do that. And you see, like, once we start adding in that noise and stuff like that, it's sort of like now I'm starting to get inspired. Like I hear where the track is missing elements, and I'm like, oh, if I add this here, like what about this? So I heard this sort of 8th note roll, and we're just gonna get the velocity right. Put in like a line here. Right, see that? And then maybe here it goes into the 16th note roll. Again, we want to keep the velocity under control here because otherwise we could overload the low end. And then maybe we even go into 16th notes here. Get a little crazy. And then we can also like sort of fade it out. Use the velocity to fade this roll out. And then maybe I hear like a bump, bump, bump type of sound here. So let's go back to the 8th notes. I think I can do it like, is it 8th notes? Actually, I think it's 16th notes. Bump. Let's see. I think it's like this. Let's see what it sounds like in context. Okay, and let's just select these, make sure we have a nice even fade out. There. Maybe even start fading it out from there. And I felt like this hit was a little too hard, so we're just going to drag this one down. Okay. And just keep labeling all this stuff. Okay. So that's sort of how we get a nice little build up, and then that's how we build, kind of go into the sub bass here. So, all right, guys, I don't want to make this video too long. So honestly, all I'm going to do is start adding in some more, like, I guess for now, we'll just sort of literally copy and paste this setup, and it should work out for us. And what we're going to do is just sort of adjust it, right? Like pull stuff out where it's not appropriate. Like it might not be appropriate to just use the same exact build up again. Okay. But this is a good framework that we can start with just for the purposes of this, this video. And all right, guys, I'll see you on the next one, where I think we're going to start talking about filtering, sort of more effects, and maybe starting to add automation here just to build some interest in the track. And again, just sort of work on the bed of the track before we start adding melodies and pads and focusing on that. So, all right, guys, thanks for tuning in with me. See you on the next video.